Good morning.
How are you guys?
I'm waking y'all up this
wake us
morning.
up.
We start with
Ring
the
the
bell
bell.
session
Ring the
in
bell.
place. You should be in the room by now because it is time for the
Yes.
Empower Morning Show.
Yes.
Good morning. Where you
Good
get
morning.
the plug. Like it's a plug in. So good morning,
Yeah.
great people.
And we are the plug, baby. We are the plug. Empower Mornings is
We
the
are the
plug.
plug.
Yes, is the plug. We don't ask, can we be the plug? We just go on and have the audacity to have the plug. So,
Yes.
and you know, when you do the plug-ins, you know, the Glade plug-ins, it helps the room smell better. It gives it a fresher smell. So when you plug us in, we just give you a fresh aroma, a fresh way to think, a fresh way to operate. And what better time than first thing in the morning,
Right.
before you even get that day started, or if you headed to work, you don't have to type, just keep it on. If you waiting for your ride or whatever you doing, just start your morning off with us. Farika's not in this morning yet, but so let's do her a great surprise and go ahead and share before she can even share, because you know she don't play about sharing. So we want y'all to get in that same rhythm where you don't care about sharing. You don't nobody have to lead you to share. And don't get me wrong, I know y'all tell some people. I know you're not keeping a secret, but keep on telling them, even if they don't get the seed right now, they're going to wake up one morning and be like, oh, today is not it. And you're going to say, that's why I told you to get the plug. So thank you all so much. We have Cynthia in the house. Cynthia, Miss Lewis is in the house. Patricia. I know Doris is in the house. I know Phyllis is in the house, and more to come. It's people that I cannot see. But thank you for being in. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Instagram, where we stay on all the social media platforms. So thank you all so much. Y'all, how y'all feeling on this winning Wednesday?
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Good.
Regina is ready for y'all this morning. I have never heard Regina talk this much ever. And
I know,
this
right? Ain't that the truth? Look, hey, I said she done picked up some of mine. I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and run with it. Look, tag you're in.
Yeah, tag
you got it.
Because you know today, what? She ready for it.
I'm ready, baby. I'm ready. Let me tell you something. This is a good one. Because I'm pretty sure that all of us have somewhat experienced some of these things in our life, and we don't really realize that, you know, these are things that we could work on or have worked on or overcome. But I want to talk about what triggers me. Ask you, if somebody was to ask you a question, what triggers me? And
when you mess with my sleep, that triggers me.
You mess with my sleep, what triggers me? And one of the things, I want to read a few of these things, and it says, what triggers me? I felt powerless. Can you imagine being in a situation where you felt powerless? What kind of reaction, what trigger came out of in the midst of you feeling powerless? Some may feel rage. Some may feel very emotional and they break down and cry. Some may get numb. Powerless comes with different symptoms in a person. So when you're triggered, you may at that particular time felt powerless.
Mm.
And that's who likes to feel in that moment that you are powerless.
You know what?
You know that. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that makes a lot of sense because if we're talking about God didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. So if He gave you power and you
Mm-hmm.
feel powerless, then it can
Mm-hmm.
trigger you to act out of character.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That was a good one.
Definitely. Number 2, what triggered me? I felt judged.
Mm.
You know?
So it's the side effects of what happens when you are triggered.
Yeah.
The triggers of you felt judged.
I
You
felt
felt,
judged.
So you
yeah, and we all feel judged in some area.
Yeah.
do you hear people say that, okay, so you're judging me for how you see me dressed, and so you think I'm promiscuous. So since you already judging me, I'm gonna go ahead and do what you think I'm doing anyway. Some people feed
Yes.
into how people see them and they start because they feel like
Exactly.
they feel judged. And so that makes them start doing the behavior that people are judging them for. It's a
Yeah.
trigger for them to go back into maybe an old way of doing things or a comfortable way of doing
Yes.
things when you're trying to get out. But when you feel like I'm trying to do my best, I'm trying to be better, and people keep judging me, they won't let me outlive my
Yeah. There
past.
you go, sis. There you
Mm-hmm.
go.
That definitely is, triggers people to do something different.
Yeah. When you're feeling judged, you know? 3, what triggered me? I felt unheard.
Mm.
How many times have our voices felt silent to somebody's ear that you just want them to hear?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's painful.
Mm-hmm. Very painful.
Isn't that painful?
You know
When you
what?
don't
And it's
feel heard?
when you don't feel hurt, and it speaks to people thinking children are supposed to be seen, not heard.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So as little kids, you always want to talk. You always want somebody to hear you. You always want to ask questions, but that's
Exactly.
always where people shut you down. They're just like, get somewhere and sit down and be quiet. I
Yeah.
don't feel like hearing about that right now. When you take away somebody's voice,
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
when you take away somebody's ability to be heard, that's a very sensitive place to put somebody in.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can't hear me, you know how they say little kids want to get attention, so they'll go at the store and act the fool, they'll fall out
Yep.
and do something. They just want you to pay
Honey,
Yep.
they just
attention to
want
them.
any attention.
Yep.
Yes, they
It
just want
started
some attention.
triggering.
Again, it goes back to people. Good morning, Angelina. It
Good
goes
morning.
back to people who start doing things that may not be good things for them, but they just want somebody to pay attention.
Yeah.
I
That's
just want
it.
you to hear me. So if I got to go out here and do some foolishness just for
Mm-hmm.
you to listen to what I'm saying,
Yeah.
but you don't realize a lot of times you destroy yourself in the process.
Yeah.
Yep.
As you're doing it,
As
because
you go.
as you and that's something not being heard, is something that might happen as a young child but
Yep.
carries on in a lifestyle
That's
of
right.
who you are as
Mhm.
an adult. Like, people don't understand how much stuff like go sit down somewhere. Ain't nobody listening to you. Ain't nobody want to hear what you
Right.
got to
I
say.
know.
What that does to the
Mhm.
person
Mm-hmm.
for life, that they
Exactly.
have to come back later. Some people are 50 years old and just
Right.
feel like, I'm just now learning that I felt I was triggered. I I I, I was
Mhm.
always told to be quiet, so
Right.
I learned to just be quiet.
Right.
Mhm. Or the fact that just imagine if y'all remember the book I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings,
Yeah.
and I
Mm-hmm.
think she was molested, raped,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and tried to tell somebody, and because they didn't believe her, she stopped talking.
Yeah.
Or somebody got she maybe she told him and somebody
Exactly.
can't remember the specifics, but I think maybe somebody got hurt and she felt like somebody got hurt or killed because I spoke up about something. And
Right.
so she chose not to talk anymore. You
Wow.
don't know what triggers a person and
Yep.
causes them to feel like, okay, say you've been molested and you go and tell somebody and they don't believe you.
Oh,
Exactly.
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? You know how many kids have experienced that at the hands of relatives or family friends, and you go and say it, and then they're looking at you like,
A
stop
lot.
telling lies.
A
Yep.
lot.
They're like, you
All
go
you
and
do is lie.
yeah, like why do you keep lying about stuff? At what point when you don't feel heard do you just shut down? And when
Mhm.
people ask you about your feelings, you don't even want to tell people how you really feel because you don't listen to me anyway. If I
Yeah,
did tell you, you're not gonna do anything about it. You don't really care.
they go through that.
Exactly.
You don't care anyways.
You
How
don't care
many
anyway.
people have you heard say they don't care nothing about me anyways? They ain't gonna listen to me anyways. That's some real
Exactly.
situations.
That is a real
It
situation. And this goes into the next one. It goes right with it. What triggered me? I felt unsafe.
mm,
You see, I felt unsafe. So think about what you just talked about. Now you put them in an unsafe situation. Now that's another trigger combined with
It's a
the other
build up,
symptom.
a
right.
build up,
But
a
you know
The
build
what?
up.
build
That's
up.
a buildup. But you know what? When you say I feel unsafe, society has made it okay where people may say, "Oh, I killed this person because I felt unsafe.
Yeah.
I this happened because I felt unsafe."
Hmm.
Unsafe is an opportunity for you to do some things and justify why you did it, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Some people use that as a way to do some things that maybe shouldn't have been done
Right.
because they felt unsafe. But
Unsafe.
then again, other
Exactly.
people truly do feel unsafe. You know what I'm saying? And so because you feel like that, good morning, Kathy,
Good morning.
it triggers you to do some things that outside of your character.
Mm,
People wonder, well, why did she go on? Why did she,
Right.
Regina, for the people who just joined, can you recap a little bit? Because we're talking about, she's talking about things that trigger you and maybe why
Yes.
you behave the way that you behave. Why do you think the way that you think? Why do you not have successful relationships? Because and Regina, go back to number one and
Yes.
catch everybody up.
Okay. So number one is I felt powerless. Number two is I felt judged. Number three, I felt unheard. And we are on number four, I felt unsafe.
And I want y'all to think about that, like in the comments, share what triggers you when you think about what makes you, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it triggers you into depression. Maybe it
Right.
triggers you into anxiety. Maybe you don't like to show up places because you feel like I'll be judged, like what I'm wearing doesn't compare to
Right.
somebody else's, or I
Exactly.
can't get up and speak on stage about stuff because they're gonna judge me because I don't talk like Sparkle talks, or
Right.
they're
That's
gonna
mhm.
the
look at
truth.
me and I feel overweight, but they're gonna judge me, and
Right.
I can't go with Regina and walk a 5K mile and everybody else looking fit, and I feel like you don't
Right.
know how people will sit out and miss out on things
Yes.
because different things trigger them
That's
and
true.
cause them to feel unworthy or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Powerless.
Mhm.
Sometimes you don't do the things you want to do because you feel like you strip me of my power. What am I going to say? What am I going to do? I have to stay in this situation. I don't have a way out.
Right.
Yep.
You know, these are real things. I mean, and that's what people don't look
Yeah,
at as people don't look at these things as triggers,
yeah, yeah.
and the triggers
But
are
it's the
really the
root cause.
symptom.
It's the root cause of why you do some of the things that you do.
There it
Mhm.
is, sis. You got it. There you got it. Number five, I felt excluded.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a good one.
Good
Hey,
morning,
hey,
Kelly.
Callie. Yes.
Morning, Kelly.
Feeling excluded.
That you know what, that is a hard thing, especially for women, because you know
Yes.
how they say a bunch of women get together. Women can be mean girls, or you can say like, "Girl, we not, she can't be
Ain't
part
nobody
of this
messing with
clique."
you.
People will get in cliques and people feel
Mhm.
That's true.
excluded, like, I don't want to go, I don't even like going to this church because they're all in cliques, so when I go I don't feel like I can be a part of it. And I don't think sometimes people even realize how you make people feel. But Reverend Pat says, if my cabinets are not full of good, I get extremely anxious because it's a reminder of my time struggling as a single
Yeah.
mom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And
That's a good
yeah,
one.
that is so good. And those are
That's true.
and look what it does to her. She know what it the effects of.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what she probably does is make sure that her cabinets are full, not
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
so that it
Yeah.
does not trigger something else. Because
Mhm.
once the hard thing about triggers is once it's triggered, then it triggers something else, and then it triggers
Mm-hmm.
something else. It's a trigger will keep building up,
Yeah.
and before you know, you got hives, and you have, your nervous system is broken down
Ooh. And that
because of a trigger.
Right. Or you
your
think
hair
about people
starts
who hoard.
shedding.
You know what I'm saying? You think about hoarders. When people go through life young and they never get to experience things or they don't have excess or anything, they hoard stuff because they're just
Yeah.
like, I'm never gonna not have this again, So I'm gonna make sure I have an overabundance because I never
Yes.
want to feel like I'm not gonna have what I need when I need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just like one day I was cooking some salmon patties and potatoes,
Mm.
and I didn't have any rice. Well, that not having that rice triggered me because my grandmother, when she made it, she always had rice with it. Well, it triggered me and made me like, oh my, like I started crying, like I broke down over the rice, but it really wasn't the rice.
Rice, yes.
It was you was cooking this meal to get a filling, and then when you did not have that rice, it did a trigger. And I didn't know. I was like, what is going on with me? But you have to start learning your own self. And like Reverend Pat was saying, my cabinet's not being full gives me anxiety. So
Right.
I know I need to do certain things, and in certain ways
Exactly.
that people do things. You like, why does she always have to have her shoes lined up in certain kind of way? Well, she might have got beaten with a shoe that was
Because she
flipped
did it.
over. Yeah. So she has to keep it lined in a different kind of way so that it won't mess with her. So it's very important as you're learning yourself and you're
Mhm.
falling deeper in love with yourself.
There you go. There you go.
Recognize what keeps you not loving yourself, what knocks you off course, what gets you off track, and just keep knowing that so that you can be like, no, 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 don't move that cat, don't move that vase over there. That vase has to stay over there.
Right.
And some people gonna look at you like it's just a base. Well, it might be just a base to you, but
Right.
it's something that's my safety. It makes me feel good. It gives me what I need to keep going.
Right.
So I'm glad we're talking about triggers because we jump over them so much, and
We do.
triggers are real.
They real.
Very, very.
They
And
real. They
you
really.
wonder why people do the things that they do. Reverend Pat said, yes, ma'am, my fear of lack surfaces and I overreact until I acknowledge what's going on with me. I finally had an honest conversation with hubby to help him understand. When we know our triggers, we must communicate with our loved ones so that they are able to help on those moments.
That's right.
Yes.
That's true. That is
Yes.
so true.
And
Yes.
even with that rice that I take, I don't even like rice like that. Like I'm not a all I needed was a scoopful. Like but it was still a trigger. Like so maybe you are a person that washing powder can never run out. Like you
Oh
can't,
yeah.
you just have to have it in your house. Or you might keep something special in your purse that it helps keep you calm when you feel
Mhm.
like you're getting triggered. So find what gives you your comfort, what keeps you
Yes.
off course, and like Reverend Pat, share it.
Mm-hmm. Or it can even be as simple as a song. Do you
Yes.
know that you just think about what or smell? You just think if somebody
Right.
was abused or if they were molested or raped and a certain song was playing, they can be anywhere and hear that song and it can take them back to that moment. And you're wondering like, wow, why do you not like this song?
Yeah.
Maybe because
It
it's
has a
linked
different meaning
to
to
a
everybody else.
traumatizing situation.
Yep.
And when you hear it, it shuts you down and you can't
Mm-hmm.
communicate or you start crying or you freeze or whatever that is. You have to be really careful with people. We're so quick to
Very
be
true.
like, what's wrong with you? Or,
Yeah.
girl, yeah, that ain't, and dismissive of other people's things. But if
That's
you're
true.
somewhere and you're feeling judged or you're feeling powerless, what's the other ones, Regina?
How about I feel blamed?
Imagine being, you know what?
Man.
That's a good one because I think that sometimes you feel like people make you feel like it's your fault
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
on a lot of
Yes.
stuff, and even though they may not mean that, it's
Mm-hmm.
how the conversation comes off. Like, well,
Yep.
you know how you can come home and they'll be like, why is this house dirty? I told you to do this, and this. So you get in another situation, and when something's a mess, you automatically feel like they're looking at you like, what did you do?
Right.
How did you allow this to happen? They're blaming you for circumstances that really don't have anything to do with it. Thank you, Courtney. Courtney
Yes.
says, I have anxiety. I don't let it have me. Thank God for healing and for growth.
Yeah.
Amen. That's
And that's
true.
Amen.
just the same when you were saying that, Angela, it made me
Hmm.
think that some people like God didn't do it for me because I did this. God ain't gonna bless me because
Right.
of my past, or I
No.
know he ain't gonna do it for me because I misused the money
Hmm.
before. So he's not gonna bless me with money again
Right.
because I misused it. So they're still blaming themselves for
Right.
something that God is wanting
Right.
to help you overcome, but you're still blaming yourself
Yeah.
because maybe as a child they used to
One
say
time.
it's you
Exactly. And we
always
got to be
doing
delivered from
something.
that. We can't
You
carry those burdens. We can't carry
yeah,
those burdens. You
yeah,
know,
and sometimes people
But
have
that
did
blame
that.
is heavy.
Yes,
blame
you
is heavy.
always doing
Blame is
something.
heavy.
It don't matter what, you always doing something. I that's
Hmm.
one of my triggers that I hate to hear a mother saying, you always somewhere doing something. You always, and using the word always,
Hmm.
because that will sit with you in a different kind of way, and
Yeah.
you're like,
Right.
Yes.
I'm always doing something, I'm
Yeah.
always messing something up, I'm
Yeah.
always.
Like it's attached to you. Yeah.
Hmm. Right. Like a
No.
little buddy.
Yeah.
Like you got to drag it around on your back. You can't
Yes.
escape it. People will,
Yeah.
with the blaming, with the judging, those things are external from somebody else. And it may even be in your mind, but it's the
A
fact
lot of it.
that something has been said or an environment has been created to where you feel like
Mhm.
you're the problem.
Right.
When you
Mm.
with somebody and they're never happy, they're never satisfied, you that's why we always broke, because you always out here doing this. That's why, you always burn up the food, or you always, why you gotta
And you
always bring
start
all them
taking care of
kids.
those
It's
symptoms. You can't carry that because the blame is not on you. And what happens is it starts fogging your clarity. And so then you start taking on the symptoms of, oh man, justifying the
Mhm.
blame that's not even your blame.
That's good, Angelina. She said these are real deep triggers that can result in big reactions.
It
Yes.
That's
can.
when realization of deep wounds lie underneath and need to be acknowledged and processed to heal and release. Then stay clear of people who repeatedly trigger these wounds. And it's
Yeah.
all really plain disrespect and control by someone. Because
Well, you know what?
sometimes,
And that
go
flows
ahead, that's
right
next.
into the next one.
Go
I
ahead.
felt
Go ahead.
disrespected.
Mm.
That was the next one. I felt disrespected.
Hmm.
You know how many people go off because they feel like somebody has disrespected them?
Oh yes.
Would
Yes.
drag somebody over small things, and you thinking like,
Over the littlest
why
thing.
would you snap like that? Like the show Snapped? It's a
Yep.
show out here where
Uh-huh.
people snap and kill people, and it may be that they've done something minor, and you killed them over that, but
Hmm.
it was years of built up triggers, and that just was the one, what they say, the straw that broke the camel's back. That
Yep.
one thing caused me to snap, and before I realized it, this is what happened.
That disrespect though.
Disrespect will take.
People have killed people have snapped at them and hurt them in a bad way because
Mhm.
they felt
Exactly.
disrespect. And you
Exactly.
have to really figure out where did that
Ex-
spirit of disrespect come from, because it's a
Right.
spirit that lives deep down inside, that you feel like people are always disrespecting me. And goes that word always. You feel like people are always disrespecting. And now that I'm a grown age, I'm not gonna let nobody disrespect me.
Right.
I'm not gonna let you do this to me. You
You're
ain't
not
gonna
gonna
get
talk
over on
crazy to
me.
me.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it. Kathy says she remembers when she was a young child, her parents went on a flight to see a famous speaker and she wanted to go with them, but she couldn't. Then a song called Summer Breeze was playing on the intercom of the airport. So every time she hears that song, it triggers that moment and she starts to cry.
Wow. See, a
We
certain
all
song.
have them.
Angelina said, oh, then people poke and prod once you react. Because when people know they can get you, baby, they will, honey,
Yeah.
undercut, gut punch, they'll do all that. She said, oh,
Right.
you have anger issues. Oh, you so sensitive. Oh, you being so upset, etc. And that is more abuse and control and disrespect.
There you go.
Yeah. Because that's just like, people that are real emotional. They're like, oh my gosh, here she go fall at crying. You know she
Mhm.
gonna cry. You know she gonna cry. And that's hurtful for someone that has like her emotions
Yeah.
is
No, it's
just
true.
who she is. She doesn't hold emotions like that. And you're like, oh, she always crying. No matter what you do, here she go. I know she gonna cry.
Mhm.
That
Yep.
is that is mean. And what you're doing is you're
Mhm.
triggering something. Now, when she turn around and slap you, don't be mad at her because
Don't
people,
say
your
nothing.
trigger is
Right.
sometimes uncontrollable. You don't know
Right.
how you're going to react to that trigger.
Right. And that too comes with how they would make you feel. I felt lack of attention.
Yeah. Back to what Angela was saying, kids act out. Not just kids, grown-ups
Grown
act
folks
out
do
too.
too. They do. They do the most to get attention, but it's coming from a space of never having it. And that's why you gotta
Yes.
give people grace.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes, when people say, well, she do the most, maybe because she never had attention and she just wants somebody to listen to her.
Right.
Yeah.
Because nobody ever listened to her. So sometimes you gotta suck it up and be like, you know what, let me let her get off.
It ain't
Because
hurt me. I'm not doing it.
it's not.
No.
It's not. And when you know that, when you know why people do certain things that they do,
Right.
when you wonder, like, why she always like this, or why she always want to go here, why she always want to do that, you don't know what that does for somebody. Whether it's, what, me and my mom used to always go get ice cream at Baskin Robbins. So
Ooh,
I want to go
yes.
get a scoop of such and such. And I was like, I don't even feel like eating that. Why we gotta? You always want to go to Baskin Robbins, and you just want to recreate the feeling because you miss your mom or you miss
Yeah.
a certain thing or whatever. And when somebody disses it, now you feel disrespected. Now you feel like, I don't even really like you no more because you
Right.
don't pay attention to what my needs are. You know,
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's the triggers can lead to a lot of things. And if you
Yeah.
have people who are not empathetic, if you
Yeah.
have
Yes.
people who are not sensitive, if you have people who are narcissistic because they don't care nothing about what's going on with you,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I
And,
know.
it's
and
all about them.
it doesn't matter what ship or what type of ship y'all are in relationship
That's
wise.
true.
If you're gonna have this person a part of your circle, you have to learn that person. You have to learn, okay, like if you're gonna be good friends with somebody, you have to take out the time and learn who that person is and
Exactly.
how they how they
Good morning,
react to
Keisha.
things or what did I say? Like when you say something wrong and you see their head automatically go down, you have to stop and be like, okay, girl, what did I
Yeah.
do? Like,
Morning, Keisha.
yeah, what did I
You have to
do?
pay attention.
Yeah,
Because
Right.
what brought a tear to your eye? I didn't mean to step on
Exactly.
there. Because you
Mhm.
have to take responsibility. We talk about putting people in the winner circle, but
Yeah.
to be a part of the winner circle is having a responsibility. If you, my friend, I decided to love you and learn how to love you and not damage you in my
Help
love.
you win. You got to
Yeah,
help that person win. If you want them to be in your circle, help them. There's
When
nothing wrong with accommodating people. If I know Sparkle likes to go to bed and like early, then why am I doing stuff to be like, oh, girl, every time you turn around, you always going to
no,
bed. We
you
can't
ain't.
never do nothing because you always going to sleep. She get on my nerves. Every time we turn around, we can't have no fun and go out because she always going to bed. Now we got to sit around and tiptoe because she sleep.
yeah.
How do
And
you think that
nobody
makes her
knows.
feel? If you
Yeah,
know
like
this about her, then do activities early so that you can accommodate the fact that she go early, go to bed early. So let's
Yeah.
do this now, and then we'll meet up
Yes.
again for breakfast. She get up early in the morning, so we'll meet up early for breakfast. You got to be able to be sensitive to why people do what they do. You don't know
Right.
how that makes them feel
Yeah.
disrespected when you talk crazy about the way they do things. Just because you like to stay up all night and don't get sleep, don't mean
She
everybody
can't
else is doing the
hang. You
same
know,
thing.
people were like, she can't hang. Well, and you can't hang with me at 4.
Right.
So
No, that's true. Because
but I'm
Sparkle
not
will go to
calling
bed
you
early,
out
and
on
me
it.
and Angela will be on the graveyard shift, like literally.
Yeah, and y'all can go on with that. Go on with your graveyards.
Right.
But it comes. I was raised by grandparents, like
Right.
grandmothers. They went to bed early, so
Mhm.
I
and
get
they
it.
got up early. So that was just a lifestyle that I lived. I have
Mm-hmm.
found myself. I can stay up late if it's worth. If I feel like it's worth it. Not
Right.
if you feel like it's worth it,
Right.
but if I
Right.
feel like it's worth it. But you have
Right.
to take out time to love people the way that they need to be loved and be gentle with people. Be
Angelina said yes, and respect and
gentle.
honor why without judgment. I wake up so early too and hustle and then crash early too. People
Right.
don't know why. You know what I'm saying?
We
Yeah,
can
and
rule
that's a
together,
valid
Angela.
response. That's a valid response because you know how they say the military do more before 8 a.m. than you do all day. When
Yeah.
you run
Exactly.
hard and work hard and get up early like that, people want to, but you don't do what I do. You have
Right.
no idea why I do the things that I do. So don't judge me because of how I
Right.
respond to things, how I act to things. You know, I can't judge Sparkle because she hot and she need a fan everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Bring a jacket. You know that you're going to be at Sparkle's house. Bring a sweater, bring you a little blanket because that's how she likes to live. You know what I'm saying? That's comfortable for her. And
Right.
if you want to share space with her, then you take care of what you need to. But people are so quick
I know.
to push a trigger. They are so quick to not even think about what causes you to be the way that you are, to
Yeah.
act
What
like you act, to
Yeah.
need what you need in your home, in your life to make you feel
Yeah.
comfortable.
and
Yeah.
how can I learn to love you in a way that it does not
Right.
trigger anything? Because if I love you, I want nothing but the best for you. I
Exactly.
want you to succeed. I want to see you win. So if you are needy, don't if you know you're with someone that's needy, you decided to be with that person that's needy.
Hello.
If
Right.
you just got to take that responsibility. Don't be mad at that person that needs a little extra attention when you signed up for the responsibility. Now that you got a little older, now you like, I don't got time for all that. Like, she's so needy. Oh my God. Like, don't criticize the person because that is who they are. Because you're criticizing can delay them, can put them back some steps, and you don't even realize it. So that was good to talk
You do.
about those triggers.
Yes. 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 So
I would
I'm
love to go
excited.
deeper in that because
Yeah.
it's a deep, like it's some deep. Oh,
Yeah.
triggers can be deep down in the inside. Phyllis
Go
said, "What
ahead,
we not
Phyllis.
gonna do is stay on here all day." So
Right.
come
Before
on.
we get off, though, I want to invite you guys on tonight. Sacred Healing is going to be on the We Network. Okay, I'm super excited. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you don't want to miss it. I got some good things in store. I
Yeah, I know
believe
Regina
God.
got it good. And make sure
Okay.
y'all tune in after this show. Reverend Pat will be on for the daily devotional. So go and check her out to grow deeper in the word. But that was really good. That was really
Yeah.
good. Make sure y'all check Regina out because I know she's coming back brand new episodes, brand new, helping you heal your
Mm-hmm.
mind, body, and soul. So make sure you get in there for that tonight.
And if y'all haven't seen that flyer, it don't look like them other flyers, cause baby, my sister is fly on there, buddy. She's showing them hips. She's showing that
Baby.
like I'm slim and trim, and I
Get
am.
it, baby. Hey, don't forget Saturday. We got to jump on.
Yes,
Oh,
for
this
Reverend Pat's
Saturday.
sister
Yes, you don't
chat.
want to miss that either. This is all. Hey, this will help us with these triggers.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
I
All
believe
right,
God.
ladies.
I believe God. Do you believe God? Do you believe God? We believe God. We believe God. We believe God. And we trust God. And that's
Yes.
how we stay in the winner circle. Love you. See you tomorrow.